we escaped to a women refuge center. There's a huge difference between a refugee and a migrant. So we didn't come from a war-torn country. We came with our dad, but it was the conditions at home that made us go to a refuge center. And I was 15 at that time, and from that time onwards I felt like a refugee because I was ostracized from my own community, from my own family, and there was no one that we could talk to. We couldn't make any friends. At times we didn't have any money to eat. I lost all my jobs. I was failing papers at the university. I was like, this is New Zealand, this is my home now. I can't go back to Pakistan because of what has happened. And I didn't know what to do. We couldn't get help from anyone. When I started talking to my friends about the abuse, they couldn't understand why I couldn't just get over it. I couldn't tell them that I have been through so much and there's been so many failures along the path. And so I thought it's so much better that I don't speak with people at all. And that's one of the reasons that I had completely isolated myself from everyone around me. For some people, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. But I found that was not the case with me at all. For me, it was a constant battle, trying to figure out where life was going. I thought that I was a lost battle until 2 years ago when I finally realized that I should help people who are in a similar situation as I was. There was nothing stopping me from doing that. And that was the motivation for my current project. I wanted to help young women who were in a similar situation as me to safely reintegrate into the mainstream community. When I left the refuge center, I found that there was no support system. Like, there is no intervention for young or old women that are survivors of domestic violence in terms of integrating them into the main community. There's nothing at all. So after doing this research, I feel confident enough that I want to go and create a mentoring program that would actually address this issue. What my study uses is an intervention called video self-modeling. What it involves is that a person watches themselves on a video performing a skill that they were not able to do so before. And that video is created by editing a lot of the bits and pieces, like the instructions that you give. For example, let's say that you don't know how to ask many questions from a stranger that you've met. So if I were to make a video of you, I would ask you questions and then I would instruct you to repeat the same questions back to me. And then using a simple editing software, I would remove my instructions out. So when you watch the video, all you see is how flawlessly you're asking questions on that video. I can tell you that all the women that participated in my study are now currently working, and before they couldn't. They report that they now speak to more people on average every day, and they are making new friends every day. And I'm really excited about these results. As a researcher, I had my own boundaries, and that's why I think it's an important issue for everyone to tackle as a society, as a government. We need help. There needs to be intervention put in place for these women when they leave that refuge center. It's hard enough for them to leave their families, to leave their communities because of the abuse that has happened. But they do need intervention when they leave that refuge. That's the hardest part. 13 years ago, I was a migrant, and now I'm a citizen. I have a job, I have a place to live, I'm studying. But not everyone is as lucky as I am. With the current situation, the refugees, I can feel their pain. I wasn't a refugee myself, but I felt the social isolation. I could speak the language. These people can't. These people have no choice but to be here. We simply can't write these people off. As John Donne once said, no person is an island entire of itself. Every person is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. This quote couldn't possibly be truer than ever.